Pandas love ice cream. Said Dino dance, Dino dance.
Overload. Time to go another level past overflow. We gon' do the most, overthrow the comatose. Raise it up till the vibe reach Holy Ghost. Yeah, this a monolith in the making. All you heard was rumbling coming up from the basement. Ain't nothing erasing the legacy I'm creating. I just elevated the name, then I engraved it. Yeah, this a lift off energy. Got a date with destiny and she feeling my chemistry. Manifestation, dreams to delivery. Mind over matter, faith over disbelief. Here we go, if you with me let me know. Let's go, fired up, and my level never low. Let's go, here we go, if you with me let me know. Let's go, ready set, let's go, ready set, let's go. Here we go, if you with me let me know. Let's go, fired up, and my level never low. Let's go, here we go, yeah I feel incredible. Let's go, ready set, let's go, ready set, let's go. I know this the moment you've been waiting on. In the waking, in the main event to take you home. Anything they say impossible, we taking on. We gon' shift the energy, we gon' change the tone. I can feel a rise in the vibe, I'm a rap. You can see it in my eyes, I'm alive, I'm a rock. Inspiration radiating from inside, I'm on fire. Universe been tryna hit me on my line, I'm a line. We taking off and ain't no counting down. About to run 100 laps around the speed of sound. I dug into my spirit and look at what I found. The element, the fuel, to lift off the ground. Here we go, if you with me, let me know. Let's go, ride up, and my level never
What's up, guys? So, back again. Sorry I've missed last night. Had to get some extra sleep due to work being a little hectic and crazy. So, I am back to continue the storyline. We are currently 7 out of 17 chapters into Midnight. This is the early access for people who pre-purchased the Epic Edition. The ones who got, the crazy amount of everything extra, because we don't really have much of a life outside of the game for the most part, which would be me. Definitely one of those people. I'm playing this game way too long. So we are looking at continue the campaign by accepting the quest, the Crypt in the Mist, and Zul Aman.
Talk to me if you have answers.
So, bring you up to speed. We've gone to Zul Aman where they are trying to reconnect with the Loa in order to basically protect Zul Aman. We just helped complete a quest with Zuljara to get the first Loa's blessing, and we're now going to try to continue on and get the others as well. And so I'm not sure which ones are up next, but let's go ahead and do that. I am actively playing the new specialization for Demon Hunter, the Devourer specialization. So I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. Well, let's go ahead and grab these quests since we're right here. I'm going to be rescuing some captives. For those of you that haven't done a whole lot of research into Midnight, I know some of you may have heard that what brought you back to the game was player housing. A lot of these quests are giving you really cool extra items as part of their rewards. It's not just random gear stuff, or if they're not giving you gear, they are giving you housing items, which is giving you house XP and things of that nature, which is quite nice. Alright, and for any of you, I'm sure quite a few of you, if you watched any of the trailers about Midnight, you saw that Devourer was the new specialization for Demon Hunter. So you still have Havoc, you still have Vengeance. They brought in Devourer. You harness the power of the Void to crush your enemies and feast on their souls, and your primary status intellect. You are a caster, more specifically just a magic user, a lot less so focused on the fel magic or using fel energy to protect yourself or to do extra damage. Instead, you have stumbled into void territory to do damage. I am currently sitting on the Annihilator hero talent build. This one allows for full range casting and gives bonuses to your Voidfall, which you get by using Reap. You can get up to 3 stacks, and then it will empower your Reap to do extra damage, as well as it brings down a meteor for each stack, total of 3, and then each of those will strike the target's location for 2,133, in my case, 2,133 cosmic damage to all enemies within 8 yards of where that impact was. So it aims at your primary target, brings it down, and then if your target is moving, it has a slight chance to miss if they're outside of that range, but it will impact everything on there. Your main big ability, Collapsing Star, that you have there, this is your big one to use when you are in your Void transformation. It's no longer demonic transformation, it is Void transformation. You transform into a giant Void monster. You'll get to see that through the gameplay, considering it's part of your regular rotation. It's a little bit more of a pain doing that in world quests and things to keep it up. It's a lot like, for any of you that may have been playing for a while, it's a lot like what old school Void form used to be for Shadow Priests, where you keep using your abilities and things to try to extend it out as long as possible and gain damage buffs and things like that as long as you are in that form. You will eventually fall out of it, then you got to build back up to it and go back into a burst cycle. So it's pretty cool. I like it. It gave me something to change out of besides playing Mage. As you all know, I've been playing Mage for 18 years. That's been my main pretty much through everything for the most part. I have dabbled in Shadow Priest. I have dabbled in Havoc Demon Hunter. The only other one that I've played seriously beyond that for a short time was Death Knight. But I am absolutely terrible at melee. So even when I played Death Knight, I was playing on Holy, where I had a little bit more range and I could move a little bit more freely, as I like to be able to move to avoid mechanics and see things very clearly. But Mage has always been my go-to, especially Frost Mage, and oddly enough, now that it is on top and it is outperforming just about everything else, I'm not playing it. I know, the irony is not lost on me. So... invite my wife to the group really quick. We're going to queue up for a random dungeon, so that way we can even show you guys possibly one of the newer dungeons while we're doing this. Of course, don't know how long the queues are going to take. And then queue us up for Midnight Dungeon. I think she's got me on a level possibly almost 2 now at this point. She's at 85. I am only at level 84. New level cap is level 90. So there's going to be that at least, which is definitely going to be different. So let's see here. Got that. We are looking at our 2 quests are going to be down over here, so we're going to go ahead and move that direction and see what happens. Oh.
The Amani have been ignoring the Witherbox calls for help for too long. That ends now.
Alright, we're just going to walk into a very misty area. That's great. This just doesn't look creepy in the slightest. You know, whatever. I'm going to rescue that. I guess a couple other things. Big giant kitty cats. And, well, now we've got enemies respawning, so I guess we're going to go ahead and do this. And I-beam. And gone. Captured Witherbark, okay. So as you can see, the transformation process I went through here, I am now a big, giant demon dude that is blue. And this is one of your ultimate ability. This is Collapsing Star. As you can see, it does a lot of damage, and once you reach all of your capstone talents, which is again something new for this expansion, it actually does a stacking increased damage. So these are the capstone talents down here. Midnight. I'm currently 2 out of 4. So rank 1 is Collapsing Star, which is critical strikes, which is great because we have now my critical strikes do 240% damage instead of the usual 200%, which is fantastic. And then all cosmic damage dealt increased by 3%, and then Collapsing Star's critical strike damage is increased by 50% of your critical strike chance. So crit becomes a little bit more necessary, so we get a little bit more damage here. Haste is always important because we're a caster, but then this is a big one. Our mastery, all of our cosmic damage is dealt is increased by 30%, and then while in our metamorphosis, it gets increased by additional 36%. So we stack the additional damage, then we add Collapsing Star on top of that, equals really big damage when we push that button. And we want to be pushing that button a lot. In longer fights, or we're specifically using a talent that's going to require Void Metamorphosis to use 15 less souls but our fury drains faster, which means we have a faster, shorter time frame before we will end up popping down out of Void Metamorphosis. Versus the other one, every soul consumed in Void Metamorphosis grants 0.25% haste up to 25%. But it would cost 50 to go into Void Transformation. But as you can see, we'd have haste increases, which would allow us to cast faster, which means we should be able to stay in it longer. That's the preferred talent for Raid. I'm using the Mythic Plus build while just doing world content. It's a little bit more fluid in my opinion, as well as the shorter time in combat and then the shorter recovery time makes it much easier to go ahead and just flow through that versus trying to stock up 50 of those again every single time. And by the time I even got to that point, probably most of everything I was fighting is going to be dead, generally. Not always, just generally. So, alright. We're finally also getting to the point where gear replacements are actually going to be a thing. Ritual Zonga slain. I gotta wait for this dude to respawn. Which that's gonna be fun. Okay, body just left. Means he's gonna be coming back here in just a minute. Go ahead and interrupt this guy. I'm gonna start fighting him. Alright, we've got the Void Fall, so we're gonna hit our Reap button. Woo! Dodge. Why am I lagging? This is not cool.
Spastelgotkitix said you are only a few quests behind me.
Gotcha. Don't know how much I like this text chat program. I'm probably gonna have to get that replaced. Can't even pronounce things right.
While in the crypt, I noticed the Vile branch were blinded by the mist.
Alright. So that's an upgrade on the belt.
Speak.
That's going to give us a new housing item. Still not going to be replacing the wraps because those are at 170. But we can replace that. That's going to go under our housing inventory.
We push forward.
Alright. Okay. Now, we're going to push forward, I guess. See what happens.
A shrine, like those we lit near the Temple of Akosan.
That means we are close. You feel like we're being watched?
Vile branch forces slain. That means we're going to start running into stuff here pretty quick, more than likely. Link's Heshe Shrine activated. Oh, look. There's a guy. One of 12. Two. Mr. Bird, nobody asked you. Buzz off. Alright, next. We're moving to... We're gonna move over this way for this next shrine. Oh, hello, friends. Get a little bit of healing from our orbs, which is useful. I think it needs to be doing a little bit more healing than it is, but whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's go ahead and do void transformation so we can do the bonus damage. One shot that guy there. Means our void beam is going to be doing more damage that way. That guy's toast.
I don't have a target.
Alright, next up, another beam right here. Yay! Knocking things down, moving forward.
I need a target.
This will be the last shrine, thankfully. And then we're gonna head back over this way. So this, by the way, Zuljara is Zul'jin's granddaughter. Fun fact. So that's interesting. And apparently Zul'jin is the reason they do not have any connection with their Loa anymore. He basically betrayed them, didn't want anything to do with them, told them all kind of to just piss off. It is what it is. 25. Alright, so we'll take the Prowler's Cloth. Discover the Wither Bark. We're rescued.
And protected us. He has made me his speaker, my sister.
Interesting.
Halazi can reveal what is
Alright, we've got a movie. Let's settle in so we can hear this one out.
something else. Halazi will speak with you now.
Hit of the Amani, pride of their pride. You have pierced the veil and found me.
It was you who created the fog. You were trying to hide the wither bark from the vile branch.
Despite Zuljin's betrayal, I silently watched over my wither bark.
Halazi, Suleiman is under attack. I have come here on the path of the Hashi. Give me a trial so that I can win your favor.
Trial? There is no trial.
But we need...
You learned to prowl. You used cunning to see what is hidden. You saved my witherbark children. No trial could earn my favor more.
Seemed a little too simple for my liking, but hey, whatever progressed the story.
Has been revealed. There are further trials ahead. May you hear your prey before they hear you.
Alright. Hey, look at that dungeon pop. We're gonna take that. We're gonna accept this quest really quick. But we're gonna take a brief pause and we're gonna go into this dungeon and see what we got. Keep in mind, X Pastel Goth Kitty. X is also in here with me. That is the wife. She is going to be joining me for this one, playing Havoc Demon Hunter, while I am playing Devourer, Demon Hunter. So we're going to see the differences in the Demon Hunter specs. It looks like we've got two. All the DPS is Demon Hunters. And Bazoo is also a Devourer. Alright, we're going to stun everything here. Throw that out to heal a little bit. Gather. 90 and 100. Beam. AoE attack. And back into beam.
Pandas love ice cream. Said I'd be playing Little Legs but I'm at work t.t.
Tank, you gotta move these guys. We can't do any damage while they're inside the ward. It's like that thing that just did, 60,000 damage earlier, just did 6. Because this protection ward is ridiculous. I'm going to end up popping out a demon form in between combat. That's okay, because now we have Void Ray back up right off the rip. So we're going to be able to burst once they gather them all together. Once the tank decides he's ready to join us. His UI broke. And this is why I don't use UI mods. I'm old school. I am a clicker. I do everything, a lot of things very traditionally. I still create macros. I still do a lot of the other things. Nope. No, I'm not going to have Void Ray right off the rip, but that's fine. Get it back here in a second. Interrupt.
Was the peacekeeper of our family. She spent many days tending to
Alright, we're going to use Collapsing Star off the rip
Legion
here.
has overtaken it now.
Oh! Couldn't get there fast enough. Alright, now we got to build back up to Metamorphosis. Stun everything since it's all there. Void Ray, that's our strongest ability. It's going to hit everything and give us the most amount of Void energy back, Fury back. Go back into that one more time. We want to, so when we're setting ourselves up, we want to Void Ray so that we leave the most amount of these on the floor. Then we go into Void Metamorphosis to get the increased damage on this, and then we can go right back into Void Ray for the increased amount of damage into another coal for mass AoE damage. This is kind of what your rotation looks like. Generally, as a Devourer Demon Hunter, that's just kind of how it's going to go for you for the most part.
I need to target something first.
It's just you want to build up and stay there as long as possible. Got it. Beam. Void Ray is definitely your strongest, hardest hitting ability, especially when you're hitting the most. It will generate the most amount of fury and do the most amount of damage. It has a cooldown inside of your Void Metamorphosis window, though. That is the only rough part. You got a 12-second cooldown. It is not reduced by haste, which is unfortunate. I think I have a couple talents selected which reduce it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and use Collapsing Star for the AoE here, which is going to be good. Build back up. And try to keep ourselves into the Void Metamorphosis so we can get another Collapsing Star if possible. Nope. That's okay. we're still very performing rather well DPS wise, which is always quite nice.
The soothing sounds of my harp brought Marisa joy beyond measure. I'll need that relic.
Go ahead and beam. More metamorphosis. Back into beam. Another coal. And then we can go ahead and use Collapsing Star because we had enough time to cast that. So fun fact, Collapsing Star is also very punishing. While it is your hardest hitting ability, if it does not go off, you are not allowed to recast it if it gets canceled for 5 seconds afterwards. Which is both understandable because it means that people will not be able to stop and consistently use it as a cancel to keep themselves into a higher hitting harder hitting version. However, it is also very punishing if it doesn't go off because your target died too soon. You see the rate is significantly slowed outside of combat. But like target switching, anything like that that's going to delay your ability to cast and produce more fury definitely impacts the amount of total damage that you can do and how long you can stay in Void Metamorphosis.
Target something first.
We want all these. Come on.
Well now, that Dragonhawk seems to have stolen my heart. She won't let you close without a fight.
Now, as you can see, with the Lust, we're able to stay in this with relative ease for the most part. As our haste is up high enough where it's not going to matter too much. Alright, now before we gather more with coal, we're going to go ahead and use the Collapsing Star again. One more time to get that third one off. This should be more damage. 87,000 damage is not bad.
Beautiful.
On a
She reminds me
wonderful
of
crit
Marisa.
damage.
My sister was also ferocity itself if her family was threatened.
Snapevine Cinch for waste, 158. We're going to be losing haste out of it, which is kind of... it's a little rough. 1 point of intellect, but what is that? 33 points of stamina. Increased crit. I don't know. Right now, I know gear is gear. Survivability is everything, and amazingness all wrapped into one pretty little bow. And yet, at the same time, if I am not able to cast, there's not really much else I can do, unfortunately. So I gotta keep my haste up to at least a decent level.
She trained with a bow gifted by our mother. Undead fanatics have invaded to loot it and anything else that belonged to her.
Stun everything, which is hopefully helpful. Alright, back at it. So this rotation is... it's just a few buttons. It's really not hard to do. It's a matter of understanding flow and resource stockpiling in order to stay where you want to for as long as possible. If that makes sense. Oh boy, big guy. Hello. And smack him again. I don't know if that's going to be enough time. I don't have enough to cast Collapsing Star. That is okay. Max level, we will have plenty of time to cast Collapsing Stars as we fix our stats and everything else. Right now, it's kind of a... Yes, if we can get it off, it's great, but we do good enough damage without it, which is kind of the point, is it's not supposed to be the... I mean, it's kind of the end-all be-all. Button is supposed to be the end-all be-all button, but the way they designed it, it's a little too punishing if it doesn't go off. That's why I think they shifted so much more damage into things like Void Ray and using the Metamorphosis instead.
Our mother's bow meant everything to Sylvanas once. I'll need it.
Alright, so now we've got these guys. I'm already in meta. Not going to help me very much to stay in it, however. Oh yeah, Hook has to go to the Banshee in this one for this particular boss fight. Very reminiscent of Necrotic Wake, having to pull the Doctor off the platform. In this case, you have to hook the Banshee. So that she will stop her AoE damage. We're going to get a Collapsing Star off, which is great. Up into the Banshee, dear. Perfect. Back into meta as we move out of the damage, and fortunately the fight's over. It is what it is.
Sometimes vain and loved to be admired, but she never wanted to be worshipped. Come, we have one more relic to find.
Go ahead and pick these all up so we can extend our Void Metamorphosis when we move.
Valeria hunted the old horde with ferocity bordering on obsession. For good reason. They took my life. Damaged our home. One of Valeria's scouting maps is within. It seems to have called on the ghosts of vengeance past. We'll need that.
There we go. So one thing I get a lot of questions on is why am I still a clicker? Why am I not using targeting macros, things of that nature, or even the current click-on target abilities that they have available in order to attack things directly and more swiftly. Fun fact, it does not work that well for me, mostly due to the shakiness I have. Unfortunately, my time in the Marine Corps left me with a little bit of brain damage, so it makes me a little bit trembly, making certain precise things a little bit harder. So hitting certain other things makes pushing buttons and aiming for that is a little bit easier than like tabbing certain buttons or making sure my fingers hit certain buttons. Moving my hand versus trying to be more intensely precise with something while hovering over something is much easier for me. So that is why I still, to this day, even after 18 years of playing this game, click my individual spells to cue them and cast them. I am not ashamed of this fact. I'm actually quite happy about it. Collapsing star. So the sooner we kill these grunts, the sooner we can get back to damaging the boss. He won't take really any damage while they are available. Ah. There we go. Sweet.
We've done it. One last task remains.
One last task. Mwah.
I'll use these relics to return peace to the spire. Perhaps then, my sisters will return to me. There! The restless heart that haunts us. Please, lay it to rest.
Come on, can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it? Yes. Oh, I thought I got past the stun. Dang it. It's alright. got a little greedy with that collapsing star, no joke. That one was my fault. I'm just going to go ahead and cop to that one. Missing that mechanic was definitely my fault. That is not going to be something that's going to be allowable in the future.
One day, my sisters will be able to
Sorry,
do the
hat's hurting
same.
my head a little bit, so I'm going to take that off.
As for myself, I shall
So,
fill
yeah.
these halls with music until they return home.
All right.
Thank you.
So this
champions.
one, in particular, is Windrunner Spire. That was Windrunner Spire. Quite a nice run, honestly.
Spastelgothkitix. Said 86 now?
'86. You suck.
Love you too.
I do love you. Congratulations on level 86. I am a little over 2/3 of the way, almost 3/4 of the way to 85. So that'll be nice once I can get there. We're going to see what I can get through tonight. I have another work shift tomorrow and a little bit of a longer one on Tuesday. I will still be streaming. I'm going to try to be streaming on those days. It may be slightly difficult due to it is going to be full release to the public midnight starting tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. That is when
The path of the Hache.
it goes live worldwide. So there is that, to say the least. Hey, Muse, how are you? Let's see, where is that? I know I saw Sensei Glyph somewhere. Where did it go? Or more specifically, where is it? Let's see.
The path of the Hache. My grandmother told tales of the Hache around the fire when I was young.
Speak with this guy. All right.
The Witherbark know little of Janalai, but the eccentric Loa speaker still lives at the temple to the east.
Huh. Very well.
Spit it out, or I slice it out
So,
with my axe.
Zul'jin's granddaughter, my grandfather, and Malakras have so much to pay for.
My blood for their money.
Zul'jin
I
betrayed the
know all
Loa
about
and
eccentric
doomed his
Loa
people.
speakers. Thank you, Vanzara.
Alright,
Maybe
the
this
riddled
trial will
speaker,
be
meet Zuljara at the temple of Janlai. Okay. Now see, it says, sense the nearby skywriting glyph. Where the heck is this thing? Normally they're up high, or somewhere interesting like that. They're always very well hidden. I'm going to have to wait till somebody comes out with a guide because I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time searching for these. Yes, they're probably going to add some sort of like flight speed bonus or something like that over time, or give you a specialized mount or some other cool little thing that you can do since dragon riding became a thing with speed fluctuations and whatnot. But I'm just, that's not something I've always been particularly interested in. I'm just happy I can fly faster. There's certain things I've had to switch back and forth between dragon riding and then traditional flying every once in a while. Alright, Shidbrat Zul'jan, he was always good with riddles. Purify yourself and it will rise.
Bring the leader of the Amani.
Slay Amazards to empower the Ember of Janalai.
I got my
Janeli. I don't know.
Yes, find more coals, more fire, renew the living flame.
He speaks much.
Did he just hand you that fiery coal with his bare hands?
Yes. Yes, he did. And it is now floating around me like a sentient being. That's not creepy at all. As you know.
I need a target.
Whoop. And Void Ray. Void Metamorphosis. Cutting this off and Void Ray to finish it. Wasting a huge chunk of that Void Ray, but that's fine. Alright, so we've gotten that. Let's see if we can find more of these. Oh, yep. See if I can take out a chunk. Help this guy take out a chunk.
Don't have a target.
Almost done.
I need to get closer.
That's not going to do anything. I'm waiting on the void fall stacks. And that one's gone. Alright, that finishes that up. We can fly back up here. And we can drop this back off.
Could it be? The spark! The fire we need!
The fire we need. Don't we just need the fire lizard from Frozen 2? Would that be a little bit more effective? And we're getting a new housing decor item. It is the Zul'Aman Flame Cradle. Alright, I'm curious. What does this look like? If it's going to show me. Ah! That's pretty. Not for use in my house necessarily, but it is pretty. Let me see here.
You better be worth my time.
So we do have, since they did bring in player housing finally with this expansion, we are getting cool little housing items. My current house is on my Alliance Mage built in a neighborhood over there. I don't think I've set up my Horde house yet. I need to. I haven't. I was really excited about it, and then like, oh, okay, I could do some really cool decorating and stuff like that, and then realizing how much of this stuff it's going to take to collect and all of these things, it's like, effort. I am not a decorative type of person. I mean, obviously, I could live with... if I wasn't engaged in a relationship, I am totally one of those guys that's perfectly fine with my computer desk, my TV, my basic 2 plates, 2 forks, knife and spoon, basic cooking set, basic bed. That's it. I'm very much that type of person, okay? That even extends as far as to creating stuff in game. I am not super extravagant nor am I decorative. I leave that to the wife, okay? Not something that I do. I have been seeing a lot of very wonderful designs that have come out involving a lot of these products. I would love to actually build something, especially for my mages, to make it a very mystical, cool, like books floating everywhere type of palace thing. At least on the outside, it looks very basic, but as soon as you go inside, it's like this grand hall type deal. I will
You best be glad
find
to
some things that I
amuse
can
me.
do with that.
The coal ready to burn.
All right.
Burn and purify. The shrines show the way.
Burn and purify.
Meet
Oh,
me at the
comforting.
shrine. I will take the call.
First,
My spirit's
Hashay
ready for
Shrine
any
lit.
challenge.
I will stay here with Brick, just in case he begins
So we are
to make
helping
sense or decides to wander off.
Zuljin's granddaughter reconnect with the
Let's
Loa
see
after
what the
Zuljin
flames make
wounded
of my
and drove
spirit.
off the Loa because he felt that they were useless and unnecessary with helping
Standing with an
years
elf,
ago.
you shield me and our family's pride.
Oh, it is Zuljin. How about that? Like, I want to spit on him.
No,
Because
I
he
will
was
not
kind of a
repeat your
tool.
mistakes,
Was
grandfather.
when he
Even if
became
it
actually
ruins
ended up
our family's
becoming
pride.
the leader of the Horde, the war chief of the Horde, I was kind of like, what the heck, dude? Why are you war chief?
I wonder who the next one will be.
Come to point out more of my flaws.
Zul'Jan.
Why? Afraid I'm a better Amani than me.
Just gonna go ahead and stun you, buddy. It's nothing personal. Yeah, get off. Thank
We
you.
are both Amani enough, brother. We only need to give each other more grace.
And Muse Pastel did let me know that it has have the 10-minute timer before you can type and everything like that. I appreciate you coming in and following and watching. I believe that is a bot setting for Twitch. I am not an affiliate, so I don't think I can actually affect that setting. I will take a look at it, though, see if I can fix that. I do know they were doing something about that because there were plenty of bots that were coming in and trying to just spam messages and things of that nature. Up. To pick a new ring. Well, this has haste on it, so I think that's going to be the go-to. We're going to take this one.
What's your bring, the leader of the Amani?
Slay the last fire manifestation in the Temple of Genelai.
Let me face whatever shame still
Alright, we can put that in our collection. Don't care for that.
Muselev Muse. Said hi, nice to meet you finally. Hi, I am the silly goose that plays Palia with your wifey. Woolly dancing Pika, no worries. It's good to keep yourself safe and I'm happy to just lurk too if that's more your style.
I am always more than happy to interact with anybody who wants to hang out and talk. I promise. I'm just socially awkward. That's generally my style. If you can't tell by the stuttering and constant need to check my words that I do.
The last trial. Face to face. Face yourself.
Oh, face yourself. Yeah, that's original.
You accept help because you fear standing alone.
Do not let it prey on your doubts.
But yes, I'm always down for new friends, people to interact, everything.
The Amani. No.
Always
Accepting
open to
help has
messages. Feel free to
strengthened us.
message me,
My
talk to
pride
me,
will
it'd be
not
on
be
here
let
or
down for
TikTok
my people.
or
Muselev
Discord,
Muse.
whatever.
Said, oh my god, I'm the happiest yapper and I will gab to kingdom come BTW. Nah, you're not awkward, you made me chuckle quite a few times and have said some interesting stuff. What do you love most about WoW?
Oh man, what do I love most about WoW? I would have to say the story, and the need to
Live again.
evolve and become better. Because people get used to doing the same thing over and over, and in a lot of MMOs, they become very, very stagnant, with lack of evolution, or it's usually around the same style of things. Like certain playstyles become, this is what you got, this is all you can do. You just do it at a higher level, with changing the way boss fights and stuff like that go around. WoW has gone from huge talent trees where you can mix and match between 3 different subtypes to small rows where you can pick one of each of the 3 talents that they put in there, to now we are back to a tree that you build into, but it's split differently between class and then specialty, and then now we've also added hero. The hero always ends up fully filled out, so they're basically just perks at this point. And then the new thing they've got for Midnight are these capstone talents, where I could take any of these talents out of that capstone and put them anywhere in my class tree. Like I could put them into any of here. However, the bonuses that I will end up getting from this are going to be so much better than gaining additional points from where I'm at anywhere in here. So the need to improve, the ability to improve, see where they can change things, improve the story, improve the playability, improve the overall interest, make you want to study, make you want to look, make you want to, learn more is something I've enjoyed the most about WoW. Primarily, I've been a mage player for 18 years. This is the first expansion I have not leveled my mage. I'm not leveling my mage first because I was very excited for this new specialization, Devourer. It is the new range specialization for Demon Hunter. I leveled it up with Havoc, with the wife over the past few months, playing Havoc, preparing for Devourer, getting the gear, doing all of the things. Then when Devourer came out, I got to play a ranged character that uses intellect stats versus agility, which I've always been a caster. I've always been a ranged player. I've tried melee. I have tried my damnedest, and I am terrible at it. Absolutely terrible. And the only tank I have been relatively decent at has been Blood DK. And unfortunately, Blizzard doesn't know what they're doing with them anymore. And so they're not in a good place to be playable at the moment, at least in my opinion. So I went back to playing ranged characters, and I was really, really excited for this. A new idea. It's using void energy. So we've seen foul energy, we've seen fire, we've seen ice, we've seen stellar, from boomkins, but now we have void energy. So it's bringing something new and fresh and an evolution to the game that I find appealing. And so that's what I wanted to play this expansion. But like even for frost mages, the talent trees have evolved.
Muse 11 Muse. Said story and self-improvement are beautiful reasons to play this game. I'm considering going all in on it and committing to it once to twice a week. That is so cool. The new stuff is intriguing and makes me wanna play again. Also houses and decorations are like so cool too. I got bored of Palia and need a new grind game, and mage is such a cool choice. These look sick. I love ranged characters and look forward to all the fresh faces to the game to play with.
Yes, you have a lot. They even got all kinds of new races and everything like that. You can play as a since you like Palia, you might like this. They have a new race for, I believe it's only Horde side called, or no, they may be dual faction. Volpera, I think, are dual faction.
I showed her the Volpera earlier.
Yeah, so there's Volpera. They're like little fox things that you can run around on. They're really kind of cute looking. They look like they're very furry and cuddly. It reminds me of Rocket from
Muse
Guardians
11
of the
Muse.
Galaxy.
Said oh cute.
So they are super awesome, but they can play most classes. We have the Drakthir, which I guess if you play Dungeons and Dragons.
Pandas love ice cream. Said hence why I'm called Little Legs.
Yes,
Pandas
that's
love
why
ice
you're
cream.
called Little Legs, yes.
Said face with tears of joy.
And so they have all these really cool new classes.
Muse
like we have
11 Muse.
Drakthir, they're like Dragonkin.
Said I love that ha 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 hi Lil Legs.
That you could play. They have a very specialized only class for Drakthir called Evoker, where you could either be a healer, a damage dealer, or a unique one-of-a-kind class that actually is almost what you would consider like a support class, to where you can increase the damage of your party and therefore you technically do more damage. You do
Pandas
damage
love
that
ice
way.
cream. Said hi, I'm the GF of them both.
Yes, and this is the girlfriend. All right. So let's see. We've got this. Janalai is waiting for all of you. Are you ready to meet them? No, not really. But let's go meet another Loa, essentially a troll god.
The egg! It is ready!
Muse11 Muse. Said at Pandas Love Ice Cream OMG hi. I've heard so much about y'all from the amazing kitties and I'm honored to finally chat with you both.
Yeah, unfortunately she is at work tonight because she works overnight shifts. I usually work evenings, she works overnight. So really the only time generally that we're home is either when we both have the same day off or it's first thing in the morning, and generally I'm just getting it. Kitty's usually getting up. I might be sleeping just a little bit longer. She's just going to bed. And so it's a really weird rotation sometimes. But we are going to try to do something where we're going to be all three of us playing at some point.
Has purified the line of Zul'jin. A new day dawns. Such is the cycle.
What'd you say, baby? $10 damage for 10 seconds. Only active while in Zulaman. Wow. That sounds cool and rough at the same time. Alright, meet Zul'jara in Amani Zar Village for more reputation.
Akelzon was right to start you on the path of the Hashe.
On to the owl. Oh yeah. As you might like this, think this one's kind of cute. This
Pandas
is,
Love Ice Cream. Said Monday and Wednesday.
That's fair.
Pandas Love Ice Cream. Said your stream crashed for me face with spiral eyes.
Ruh-roh. I didn't see anything over on this end.